High above Earth, glowing deep red against the darkness of space, there is a star that has terrified and fascinated humanity for thousands of years. A star so enormous, that if it replaced our Sun, it would swallow the inner planets whole. A star that is no longer stable. And somewhere inside its violent interior, a countdown may have already begun. Because one day, this ancient giant will explode. Not like a normal star, but as one of the most powerful events the universe can create. A supernova bright enough to outshine entire galaxies. And the most unsettling part is this: it may have already happened. We just have not seen it yet. For centuries, Betelgeuse has burned above the constellation of Orion like a crimson eye watching silently from the night sky. Its strange reddish glow made it different from other stars. Not steady. Not calm. It flickered subtly over time, brightening and fading in ways ancient civilizations carefully noticed. Long before telescopes existed, people understood something about this star felt unusual. Sailors used it for navigation. Travelers tracked it across deserts and oceans. Cultures across the world built myths around its presence in the sky. But behind that familiar glow lies a reality far more violent than anyone once imagined. Betelgeuse is not an ordinary star. It is a red supergiant nearing the end of its life. Located hundreds of light years from Earth, it is one of the largest stars ever observed by humanity. Its size is almost impossible to comprehend. If placed at the center of our solar system, its outer atmosphere would stretch past the orbit of Jupiter. Mercury would disappear inside it. Venus gone. Earth erased completely beneath an ocean of burning plasma. Even Mars would not survive. And despite its cooler surface temperature compared to our Sun, Betelgeuse shines with incredible brightness because of its enormous scale. But this giant is unstable. Deep inside the star, nuclear fusion is running out of balance. Massive convection zones churn across its surface like boiling oceans of fire. These eruptions are so enormous that entire solar systems could fit inside a single rising plume of plasma. Its surface is not solid or peaceful. It moves, shifts, collapses, explodes outward constantly. The star is slowly tearing itself apart. Powerful stellar winds blast enormous amounts of material into space, forming giant clouds of gas and dust around it. And in a way, Betelgeuse is already dying. Every eruption sends pieces of the star drifting into the galaxy. Carbon, oxygen, heavy elements forged deep inside its core. The same materials that eventually become planets, atmospheres, oceans, and even life itself. The universe recycles stars into creation. And Betelgeuse is now entering that final stage. Then, something happened that shocked astronomers around the world. In late 2019, the star suddenly began fading. Not slowly. Not subtly. Its brightness dropped so dramatically that even ordinary skywatchers could see the difference. The famous red giant seemed to be disappearing. Immediately, speculation exploded across the scientific community. Was this it? Had the final collapse begun? Was humanity about to witness a supernova in real time? Because if Betelgeuse exploded, it would become one of the brightest objects ever seen in Earth's sky. Visible during the daytime. Bright enough at night to cast shadows across the ground. For weeks, telescopes across Earth focused on Orion. The world waited. But the answer turned out to be even stranger. The star had not dimmed because it was exploding. It had hidden itself. A massive cloud of dust and gas erupted from its surface and drifted in front of the star, partially blocking its light from Earth. Betelgeuse was still alive. Still unstable. Still changing. And that event revealed something important. The star's outer layers are becoming increasingly chaotic. Inside its core, fusion continues creating heavier and heavier elements. Hydrogen became helium. Helium became carbon. And deeper inside the star, even more extreme reactions continue building heavier atoms under crushing pressure. But eventually, the process reaches iron. And iron changes everything. Because unlike other elements, iron does not release energy during fusion. It absorbs it. The moment too much iron builds up inside the core, the star loses the ability to support itself against gravity. And when that happens, collapse begins. The core will implode in seconds. Temperatures will rise beyond imagination. Then a shockwave will explode outward through the star with unimaginable violence. For a brief moment, Betelgeuse could release more energy than the Sun will produce during its entire lifetime. And somewhere across the galaxy, that explosion would spread through space like a cosmic scream. Yet despite its terrifying scale, Earth would remain safe. The star is far enough away that the supernova would become a spectacle, not a catastrophe. But the timing remains a mystery. It could happen tomorrow. Or 10,000 years from now. Even now, astronomers continue watching Betelgeuse with growing tension. Because after the Great Dimming event, the star never truly returned to behaving normally. Something inside it had changed. New observations revealed strange surface activity spreading across the giant star in patterns scientists still struggled to fully explain. Massive bright regions appeared suddenly, then faded. Enormous plumes of superheated gas erupted outward into space. And deep beneath the visible surface, violent pulsations continued moving through the star like shockwaves inside a dying engine. Betelgeuse was becoming increasingly unpredictable. But what truly unsettled researchers was not just the instability. It was the scale of it. On Earth, storms can cover continents. On Jupiter, storms can swallow planets. But on Betelgeuse, entire regions larger than the orbit of Earth rise and collapse inside oceans of burning plasma. The physics happening there pushes matter to extremes almost impossible for the human mind to imagine. And yet, all of it is only the outer symptom of something much more dangerous happening deep inside the core. Because the real battle inside Betelgeuse is invisible. Gravity is winning. For millions of years, fusion reactions inside the star pushed outward against the crushing force of its own mass. That balance kept the star alive. But balance inside a dying supergiant does not last forever. As heavier elements continue forming in the core, the star slowly approaches a point of no return. A moment where the internal pressure can no longer resist collapse. And when that moment arrives, the death of Betelgeuse will happen faster than most people realize. Not over centuries. Not over years. But in seconds. The core will suddenly collapse inward at terrifying speed. Temperatures will explode beyond comprehension. Matter itself will compress under forces so intense that atoms are crushed together. Then, almost instantly, the outer layers of the star will rebound outward in a catastrophic explosion. A supernova. One of the most violent events in the universe. For a short time, Betelgeuse could become brighter than the moon in Earth's sky. Imagine looking upward at night and seeing Orion transformed forever. A brilliant object glowing where the familiar red star once stood. Visible even during daylight. Casting faint shadows after sunset. Ancient civilizations would have seen such an event as the arrival of a god, or a warning from the heavens. Even modern humanity would stop and stare. But beyond the spectacle lies something even more profound. Because supernovas do more than destroy stars. They create the ingredients for future worlds. The gold inside jewelry. The calcium inside bones. The iron flowing through human blood. Much of it was forged long ago inside exploding stars. In a very real sense, humanity itself is connected to stellar death. Every atom heavier than hydrogen was born inside ancient cosmic furnaces. And Betelgeuse is preparing to contribute once again to that endless cycle. But there is another mystery scientists continue debating. What will remain after the explosion? Some models predict the collapsing core could become a neutron star. An object so dense that a single teaspoon of its material would weigh billions of tons. Others believe Betelgeuse may be massive enough to form something even more extreme. A black hole. A region where gravity becomes so powerful that not even light can escape. Right now, nobody knows which future awaits it. And that uncertainty is exactly why Betelgeuse fascinates astronomers so deeply. Because it offers humanity a rare opportunity. The chance to observe the final stages of a giant star before destruction. Normally, stars live and die over timescales too vast for humans to witness meaningfully. But Betelgeuse feels different. Close enough. Large enough. Unstable enough. As though the universe has placed a cosmic warning light directly in Earth's night sky. And every strange fluctuation only increases the suspense. Then there is the most haunting possibility of all. The idea that the explosion is already on its way. Remember, the star is hundreds of light years from Earth. Everything we see happened centuries ago. So if Betelgeuse collapsed sometime after the light currently reaching has left its surface, humanity would have no warning. One ordinary night, the sky would simply change. A new brilliant light would suddenly appear in Orion. And people across Earth would realize they were witnessing an event that technically happened long before modern civilization even existed. That thought changes how we see the universe. Because space is not only distance. It is delayed reality. We never observe the cosmos as it is now. Only as it once was. And somewhere out there in the darkness, Betelgeuse continues existing in a state we cannot yet know. Perhaps still burning. Perhaps already gone. Until the truth finally arrives in light. For now, telescopes remain fixed on the red giant. Scientists monitor every pulse. Every dimming event. Every eruption crossing its enormous surface. Waiting for the first unmistakable sign that the final collapse has begun. Because when it happens, humanity will witness something both terrifying and beautiful. The death of a star visible